No, I brought a few things with me.
What do you have?
A few of this smart home thingy lah, just in case. I cannot demo, but I can show it to you lah.
Can.
Because sometimes if you show it during the slide, tak macho lah. If you hold it in your hand and baru nampak like, okay, ngam.
Okay, you're actually live at the moment.
I'm echoing?
No, you're live already.
Okay. That's good, man.
Yeah. No worries.
Hey, is there a way for me to see the list of participants?
Not on Facebook, actually.
Oh, not on Facebook? Oh, I can see Harvey punya sign and that's it lah. Hey, this is live on Facebook, right? So I should be able to open Facebook live as well, betul tak?
Yes, you can, and we haven't shared anywhere yet, so we're just getting started. So Harvin is the only.
Good.
We're getting a few more in, so usually we'll have more people coming in lah.
Boleh. I see. Even the link itself, so I tak tahu.
Relax. It's okay.
Luckily my friend shared.
Arvin was like, yes, you can.
Where's Harvin? Oh, in the chat, in the comment section. Okay.
All right, ready?
Hey, I should be sharing this lah. Alah, hi.
That's what you should be.
That's the thing. Ada. I did. Okay, boleh.
All right, we're good?
We're good.
All right, I can see two good-looking men on my screen. Thank you. Okay.
Two good-looking men.
Yeah, since I shaved, people can actually see my face.
You see, that's the thing, you shave, I intentionally didn't shave, I want to put that PKP kind of look thingy, tapi yalah, haven't grown beard since 30 years ago, so I'm gonna try once lah, cuba lah.
All right. Okay, so as people logging in, we can actually start. I don't want it to take too much of time. All right. Thank you everyone that signed in. Okay. But before we start, let me introduce my guest today here. Okay, I got Adil Hidayat. Okay, Adil Hidayat's like a pro fella lah. Okay, dia gempa sikit lah. But okay. Macam saya kata posting tadi, okay, we're gonna use like Bahasa Malaysia dengan Bahasa English lah. Kita campur-campur. Alright. So kita make it more audience friendly lah. Okay, tapi casual sikit. Actually, last week I was in Kelantan lah. So people were asking about apa tu IoT, apa tu smart home, apa tu smart factory, apa tu smart office and all those stuff.
Okay.
And then on the way back, even like some of my friends asked me lah, what is the business opportunity in smart homes? Like, more talking about smart home, smart office, okay? So, macam apa business dalam smart office or business of products or installation ke macam tu nak buat macam mana? And then ada orang yang tanya apa itu prospek dalam business ini? Ada untung ke tak ada untung? Okay?
Alright.
They ask, what are the technology yang sudah ada? Ada yang ask, what's the benefit like? Okay? Takkan you nak buat smart home or control TV dengan fan dengan aircon, okay?
Yeah.
You sudah ada remote for that, kan?
Betul. That's true.
Kalau kita ada remote pasal apa you nak bagi smart semua, kan? Okay, kena commercial benefit also, okay? So or at least like a cost saving macam tu kan. So macam mana nak expect customer and all the stuff lah. So kita nak tengok hari ni apa tu smart home atau smart office. So kita kena look at two. What is smart home? What is smart office? Okay. Alright. And then we're gonna focus on untuk office apa benefit, untuk home apa benefit, what are the technologies and what's the business yang ada, apa yang orang boleh buat.
Alright.
But before going to all this stuff, I mean, as people are coming in, let me introduce Adil lah, okay? Adil and I go way back lah, okay? Adil Adil and I, we are schoolmates. So I know Adil for
Betul.
like, okay, actually this year, okay,
Ha.
we know each other for 25 years day. Right. 99,
Damn.
right, 97 to, no lah,
Yalah. 97 we are in what? Standard, no, form
from one.
1.
From one.
I lupa already lah, man. See, time flies by lah.
Yeah lah. So 97 to 2007, 2017, that's 20 years.
Yeah.
So 24 years lah, 24, 25 years lah.
24 years. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, kita kena celebrate ni.
Aduh. We need to have
Okay,
some sort of like virtual celebration lah.
So Adil ni dia expert
Aha.
IoT. Okay, if you go to his Facebook
Okay.
page atau page dia atau profile dia, you can see he always talk about smart homes, the devices, and then he talk about traffic lights, he talk about social issues and all those stuff. So Kashmiri, yes, it's quarter century, okay. So we're still young in heart, okay.
Betul.
But so Adil always talk about IoT, and then Adil memang ada company IoT dia sendiri yang dia buat installations and products, import, export, all those and you know distribution pun Adil ada buat. And besides that, I brought Adil in pasal Adil ni is doing his PhD sekarang. So dia nak jadi doktor lah tu, okay?
Yeah, kena bro, mesti.
Okay. Adil memang pandai dari sekolah lah. See, I'm the one that
I see.
do crazy stuff. So
Don't exaggerate, man. Jangan tipu bro. This is life. Aduh.
So that's the whole introduction about Adil. But Adil, I want you to introduce yourself. So you know what do you do and a little bit about what's the background like.
Boleh. Okay, anyway, first of all, thank you, Vel. Terima kasih. This is like my first time doing Facebook Live. Like I mentioned just now. Tak pernah lagi. Unfortunately, I cannot see myself in Facebook. Tapi tak apalah, no problem. I can see you. Like just now you mentioned, 2 great men. Oh, boleh lah, macho. Alright, so I won't dare to call myself a sifu lah. Tak boleh lah. Because I just started off with all this smart home punya thingy, I think around somewhere in 2014 macam tu. Okay, so some brief introduction. Okay, before this, initially I started off doing all this networking punya benda. So that's why if you are in my Facebook for a long time, right? So before this, I think in somewhere in 2010 and whatnot, you will see me posting about IPv6 and those kind of things. So at that time, it's a lot of ni lah, all those network punya benda, or Wi-Fi thingy, network issue thingy, 3G, 4G, all those kind of things. And then, so once we started to venture into all this, ada biasalah. If you talk about networking, you talk about technology, you can run from IoT. Itu standard. So somewhere in 2014, so I started to join punya MCMC punya group. MCMC is the Suruhanjaya Komunikasi lah. So they have this working group that's working on smart cities, smart sustainable city. So I was working with them. So they sent me to Geneva, pergi ITU. So I spoke with all these people lah, cakap pasal all these standards and organisation and stuff. So during our time in Geneva, so dia macam ni lah, when you go there, you see all these standard development organisation, they will talk about all these smart street light, all those kind of things. You see Korea coming in telling, okay, we have all these smart street light punya standards, please use these standards, and China will be coming in telling about all the drones, Russia will be coming in about controlling drones. So I spoke to my colleague lah, dia kata, okay, look, kita datang Geneva, we represent Malaysia, but okay, so what's Malaysia's stand? Macam tu lah cerita dia. If you are not a deployment, if you don't deploy, if you don't develop things, you cannot dance with them. Tak sama. You can read this all in the book, betul, but if you never done it before, tak boleh lah. And then from there, dia kata, okay lah, kita kena, we need to start something lah, some sort of like pilot project lah, all those kind of things. So from there, so that was the starting point lah, where I started to play around with all this Arduino lah, Raspberry Pi, all those kind of things. So started off somewhere in 2014. So the first, if you look into my site lah, yang tadi yang I hantar, initially there's a picture there. So I have this, what you call it, the board. So I just plug in a light bulb and I have Alexa and Google there. I say, okay, buka lampu, tutup lampu, those kind of things lah. So it started off from there.
Actually, bila saya kat Kelantan, saya Farhan online already. I was actually showing your video, for example, smart home lah. The one that you're using, because most of the time, bila orang kata smart home, Alexa atau Google Home, okay, most of the time, command semua kena dalam bahasa English kan, bahasa English
betul.
like
Betul.
turn on your music, or turn on the light and all those stuff. Biasanya orang tengok kalau dia dalam bahasa Malaysia. So first time, I think like even for me that was like first time I actually see someone telling Alexa, Siri to turn on
Siri,
dalam
yes.
bahasa Malaysia. It's like Siri buka lampu, and it's like and then you the was that you had Langat Penang.
The langsir. The curtain.
It was like the Penang dialect, and Siri understood. So that
Yes.
was for me was like kind of interesting because
Okay.
you tak pernah I tak pernah tengok orang control Siri dalam dalam longat bahasa utara kan, like that was
Betul, betul.
alright. So so that's a little bit of background about what you how you got in the industry. Okay.
Okay.
How can I mean you I know you got slides to share, but my question is, what is smart what is smart office? How do you define
Okay.
macam mana aplikasi untuk smart home and smart office? Your
Alright,
Alexa
so
smart home or what?
sorry bro.
Kalau dah ada Alexa atau ada Google Home,
Okay.
dah consider smart home, atau what criteria you should have untuk consider to smart home?
Okay, before that, I just mention, see, this because this is very new to me. When you said something just now kan, bila I tak dengar, I'm leaning towards the screen tau, sedangkan I'm having that thing in my ear. Aduh. Okay, tak apa. Alright, back to the question just now. Okay, kalau nak ikutkan dia punya definition lah. Okay, first of all, we have all sorts of definition for IoT, for smart home, for smart city, ada macam-macam. You have smart cities, you have smart sustainable cities, and macam-macam lah. Okay, initially kalau kita tengok dulu-dulu lah, when they started to introduce this idea of IoT, technology, connected homes ataupun smart home, dia punya scenario is something like this. Okay, let's say you have a smart refrigerator lah, contoh. Okay, so this refrigerator will know everything that you put inside it. Semua dia tahu. You letak telur ke, whatever ke, susu ke, semua dia tahu. So basically, the idea, few years back lah, I think it's like 5 or 6 years ago, so they came out with this vision saying that, okay, there will be one day where your refrigerator boleh tengok whatever that you have in your, whatever that you have, so they can actually propose to you some recipes. Macam tu lah, tu satu. Okay, and then the second thing is that, okay, let's say you ada tempat untuk letak 10 telur. Okay, so if you use all your telur lah, dah pakai habis, and suddenly by the time you reach to a certain threshold, let's say you only have another 2 more telurs, so that refrigerator can actually order more telur from the kedai lah. So that was the vision now. So the idea of smart home itself pada waktu tu is like the home can actually do something on your behalf without you needing to interfere or buat apa-apa lah, tak payah. You don't have to interfere, you don't have to give commands. All you need to do is just tell them what you want in advance, so that fellow will try to do it for you. Okay. So, but obviously you tahu lah, kita pun belum ada lagi peti sejuk yang boleh order telur lah. Not in Malaysia, but in US you can do it.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, a few years later, when the idea is like terlalu macho lah, terlalu futuristic and macho, so they settle down with the idea that if you have connected devices in your house, meaning of connected devices, basically this device can connect to Wi-Fi for the reason of you can control it, online through the mobile phone, or you can give voice commands and whatnot. It is considered as a smart home punya device. So when you have a smart home device in your house, you can call your house as a smart home lah, smart house lah, macam tu lah idea dia. Tapi belum ada certification and whatnot. Maybe I gonna come out with some sort of certification, say, okay, a smart home certified, but Adil lah, lepas ni I tampal lah dekat sana. Okay, so that was the early definition. That is one thing. When it comes to, but right now, they have a different terminology lah, different definition. They say, okay, connected homes is what we have right now. Basically, we have all the devices yang ada Wi-Fi, yang ada connectivity, doesn't matter lah, Wi-Fi or whatnot. Basically, it can connect to the internet, or it uploads something to the internet, receives command and whatnot. Okay, so these are called connected devices. So you have a connected home. And then they are moving back to the first definition, saying that, okay, if you have a smart home, the home can actually do things for you in a smart way. Macam tu lah. So we are moving towards that lah. That's one of the things.
Okay, I just want to add to what you said lah. Okay.
Okay.
2020, according to the research that was done, kan, okay, by 2020 we supposed to have lebih kurang 24 billion connected devices or sensors, devices in the world, 24 billion. World population pun baru 7 billion plus kan, so 24 million so 3 times more sensors and devices. Technically, kalau you tengok kat normal manusia pun, phone ada, laptop ada, kalau kat rumah Alexa ke atau Google Smart TV pun ada. So that's already considered connected devices that interconnects to internet or your home network or any of this network that they have available kan. So that's already IoT devices or connected devices.
Betul.
So when it comes to a smart home, so even like some of the guys might want to know what how smart office works. Give a scenario or example of a smart office.
Okay, I can take one example from MCMC lah. They have this smart building kan. Okay, initially the idea of smart office, okay, one of the initial punya, okay, what they try to achieve is that basically macam ni lah. One of the biggest issue is energy saving lah. Itu satu. Okay, when we talk about smart offices, smart buildings with our clients and whatnot, the first thing they will ask, okay, if we deploy this, boleh jimat elektrik lah? Ada satu lah. Okay, the reason mereka nak jimat elektrik, obviously cost lah. Dia kata jimat duit, jimat elektrik, so they want to implement that in the long term. Itu satu. And then the second thing is that smart office basically, okay, the idea of smart office ni sebenarnya is almost similar to whatever that you have for a smart home. Kalau nak ikutkan lah. Okay, why do you have smart home? For you to make things easy for the people living in the home. Betul tak? Okay, it's the same thing that you have for smart offices. Okay, if you talk about living punya environment or working environment, when you have a smart office, these devices, or whatever that you have in that office, you can help those people in the office, okay, to work better ke, to feel, I don't know what I call it, at home ke apa ke, macam tu lah, contoh, right? So that is one part of it, that's the human part of it. Lepas tu dia ada the part where you can have all this cost saving, all this automation, all those security part of it, benda-benda macam tu lah. But right now, when we talk about smart offices, macam sekarang lah, that what we have, normally things that you can control, automation, macam tu lah, like you can turn on or turn off the lights, you can turn on the locks, the office locks, or even you can turn off the monitors that you have dekat office tu, macam tu, contoh lah. So by doing all that, okay, firstly they consider smart lah, because once everybody leaves the office and everything is done automatically, tu satu. And then the second thing, because it helps you to save cost. Tu contoh lah, that's one thing.
Bangunan Suruhanjaya Tenaga Malaysia in Putrajaya is actually a smart building kan. So I was just reading a report the other day from them, and based on the building design and smart devices and sensors and the installed dalam building, their cost saving for electricity is almost like for 30% to 40%, I believe.
Betul.
And their water saving, water saving like rainwater harvesting macam tu kan.
Betul.
Reduce bill dia tu sampai 70%.
True.
That's a lot, and
that's a lot. Betul.
Last month I was in Pahang lah. Sebelum MCO saya ke Pahang kada PSDC Pahang Skills
PSDC Pahang. Okay.
So when I was running a class, then they have classroom there. The entire building fitted with smart building sensors. Okay. So I asked them what's the sensor, what do they do and all those stuff. Surprisingly,
the entire building.
For the entire classroom session lah, like the whole block.
Okay. All right.
So I asked them what they do with it. Okay. So supposedly, kalau ada class, then people leave the classroom, dia dah keluar. So the maintenance guy atau security kena might turn off the lights, the projector and semua, and then tutup pintu, lock pintu kan. So by that time, so selalunya dia buat pukul 5. So sometimes class habis pukul 4. Sometimes memang class tak ada ke, atau dah pergi lunch break macam tu. They're wasting a lot of energy, lot of power.
Betul.
Okay, so what they did, and they decided to put sensors in all these classrooms untuk detect motion sensor. So detect ada movement dalam kelas ke tak ada movement. Kalau tak ada movement,
okay,
more than 1 hour plus, the main will cut off. So light, fan, aircon, computer, projector semua akan tutup.
Okay.
So what they were doing, they were paying by 30,000 ringgit per month on electricity.
Before that lah.
Before that, they were paying for that lah, dulu lah. Lepas
Aha.
installation of the system, they said the cost saving is about 6,000 ringgit per month.
Yes.
That's like,
That's a lot.
20%
A lot.
electric saving from one building.
Betul.
6,000, so the ROI will be ROI to return on investment kan. So
Betul?
selalunya building atau office nak pergi business, dia akan tanya, oh saya install ni, bila saya akan dapat investment sampai bila. So mostly it's like when I look at this scenario, I was thinking like the ROI will be in less than 18 months.
True. Possible. It is possible. Yeah.
Possible. So that
Possible.
was
It's possible.
yeah, that was quite interesting lah. So okay, now coming back to our thing. So some of these viewers want to have a smart home, right? So going back to my earlier question lah. Okay.
All right.
I know you brought some samples. I know you have some slides. So do you want to show your slides now or?
Which one is easier? Up to you, man. Yang mana lagi senang?
Okay.
Do I need to share my screen ke atau macam mana?
Yeah. Share your screen so I can see some of your slides.
Share my screen. PDF is okay, right?
Anything's fine.
Okay. I can only see my whole screen. But that's the thing. Alamak. Bro, is it okay? Can you share it on your side? Boleh tak? The PDF?
Yep, sure.
Sorry.
No worries. But before I go into the slides, so let me ask you this question. Boleh. Install smart home devices. Okay.
Sorry, can you come again?
Why people want to install smart home devices?
Why people want to install smart home? Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, other than looking cool, other than looking like Elon Musk punya rumah ke apa ke? Okay. Just go down from buka pintu and then masuk ke. I mean, other than looking cool, what's the benefit of having a smart home?
Okay, going back, to answer the question, the first thing is basically macam ni lah bro. No matter what you do in life, the first objective is basically to look cool, betul tak? Kan? If you get visitors coming to your home, tiba-tiba you kata, buka lampu, tutup lampu, buka tirai, buka TV, bring in the drinks, kira macho lah bro. So that is the first thing lah.
Yalah.
Okay, but if you put macho-ness aside, okay, like for me, initially, bila I start to do all these smart home thingies, because I'm lazy. That is the first motivation lah. Because I was sitting somewhere in front of the television and then suddenly I wanted to close my lights and everything and kata, ayah, nak kena pergi jalan, pergi ke pintu, that's like quite far away, although it's like several steps saja. So I was thinking, I said, okay, I have a lot of this Raspberry Pi at home, why not I just go Google something and see if I can just control the lights using Raspberry Pi. So it started off from there. So the first motivation is laziness lah, tu satu. And then the second thing is our human nature, kita suka bagi arahan dekat benda tau. Like you have kids you kata, okay, buat tu, buat ni. If you have a bigger kid that actually understands your instructions, then boleh lah, you don't need Alexa to do it. But unfortunately, my kid is still small. So that is why I need all this smart home thingy. Okay, but jokes aside, I've used this smart home, one of the other reasons that I've used this smart home is to actually monitor the well-being of my mom. Sebab my mom is staying alone in Penang. So that's one thing. Okay, so although my mom ada telefon ke apa ke, she can call me, betul. But if something were to happen, sometimes she may not be able to get the phone to call me, then kita tak tahu tau. So again, although she's living alone, so that's the issue. So what I did was I installed all these smart switches at my mom's house. So basically I know she has some sort of certain routine lah. Basically somewhere 7 o'clock in the morning dia akan bangun, pergi buka lampu tandas, lampu bilik tidur, semayang and all those kind of things. And then kita tahu tengah hari dia akan turun, masak nasi, all those normal daily routine. Alright. So actually what happened was when I changed all these smart device into all these smart plugs, so I'll have notification on my phone saying that lampu kitchen buka dekat rumah lah, kata lampu dapur buka, lampu ruang tamu buka, lampu bilik tidur buka, those kind of things. So I'll know that my mom is okay because she turned on the lights, macam tu. Let's say if one day suddenly tiba-tiba at 7 o'clock she didn't turn on her bedroom light, so I will start to worry, then I can straight away call her. So those are some of the things that you can use for smart home lah. Tu one thing lah. It's not directly like a macam security device, but you can use it to monitor lah, in a way, indirectly monitor. Tu satu. And then the second thing, okay, yang the
Peace
biggest
of mind lah.
peace of mind lah, betul lah. That's one thing lah, especially if you have your parents and elderly macam tu lah. Although if you have like sick elderly mungkin tak berapa nampak sangat lah, but just for general punya monitoring, okay, tu satu lah. Okay, and then the second thing that normally that I have, people will ask me this, dia kata, okay, I want to save electricity. Dia kata macam tu lah. Normally, that's the direct question. I want to save electricity, I want to save utility, water dan blah, blah, blah. Okay, what can I install to make, to have all these kind of, savings? Okay, first thing that I need to, tell everyone, bagi semua orang faham, this misunderstanding, there is no smart device ke apa device ke, generally that you can find, that you can buy and plug into your home into jimat elektrik, tak ada tau. Okay, they have lah all those super capacitor thingy, tapi we are not talking about that lah. Alright, because back then there used to be a time when we went to all this IoT expo lah, kan. So this sales people will tell you, kata, okay, you buy this, you save electricity and whatnot. Sebenarnya the device itself does not save electricity. It's when you program it. Contohnya macam, let's say kita kata macam you have a routine, buka lampu at 7 PM contohnya, and then you turn off all the lights dekat 12 tengah malam. Okay. If you were to do it manually, kita manusia tau. Kadang-kadang kita buka, kadang-kadang kita tutup, kadang-kadang kita follow routine, kadang-kadang tak tau. But if you have a machine to do it for you, it's automatic and it's consistent. So you actually save money in terms of in energy from that consistency tau. So that is where you have all this kind of saving. Sama juga macam all the smart building thingy kan. Okay, like the MCMC near building. Okay, they actually partner two terminology lah, smart building and green building. So they have these two together. So where they try to save electricity, try to use all this renewable energy, macam tu lah. And for me, kalau apart from all that, I just kind of like to try things lah. So that is one of the reason I did all this lah. Mula-mula I tried with one smart plug, and then after that try with a wall switch, and after that I did my whole house lah. So from there, so that is how it all started lah.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna actually share the screen. Okay. All right. So let's see.
I even read the comments. Sekarang semua dah malas, semua nak cepat. Actually memang betul pun, right?
True.
It will be even nicer if we can actually do something with Food Panda or Grab Food and whatnot. Say, okay, Alexa, order nasi kandar satu. It will be really nice. It is doable in the US. That's the thing, but it's not available in Malaysia, unfortunately lah. Yeah.
True. That's what I was thinking also lah. Because a lot of things, even the smart fridge yang tadi cakap tu, okay, it's actually already available in US.
Betul.
And there's already app yang orang develop untuk for you, as you said lah, yang they actually do a fridge like sensor. Then tell you, okay, these are the ingredients yang sudah ada, and these are the food yang you boleh masak dengan ingredient yang ada dalam fridge lah. I saw the apps and everything, but the best part is like kalau saya buat smart fridge untuk kat apartment saya ni, okay, the best option is like probably fried egg lah or boiled egg tu je lah. Okay.
Okay lah. Alright.
But considering like your travel pattern ke, atau you punya eating pattern, atau you punya dressing pattern and all those things, a smart home even like can let your visitors to masuk. Ada banyak orang yang buat like what do you call homestay macam tu kan. Betul. All those stuff. Smart home devices yang kalau you install tu will allow people to masuk and go out. You can monitor the business process. Untuk even like hotel ke, motel ke, homestay, Airbnb. You can monitor siapa ada orang masuk ke, tak ada masuk ke, keluar ke. Yang service apartment boleh check ini memang sudah rent ke, hari ni tak rent ke, atau manage really doing a proper job ke, itu semua boleh monitor lah. So the options for that as well. So let me go to the slide. Let me know when to stop. I'll stop. Okay.
Boleh. You don't have to share everything lah. This like 52 slides. Just take a few lah. Okay, but talking about the one that you mentioned just now, right? It's really unfortunate tau, because dekat Malaysia ni kita like apa ni Jin mention betul lah, dia kata because our market is still very small and it's still considered quite young lah, at the very early stage untuk all these smart devices. Because if you look, okay, there's certain movies that you boleh tengok dalam Netflix that we can see all this, I mean, dia apa nama tu, there's this one drama lah in Netflix where that boy actually ordered a PS5 ke apa ke from Alexa tau.
Okay.
The father took his PS5, dia kata, I'm gonna order another one. Betul, tiba-tiba dia order from Alexa. So Alexa kata, okay, PS5 ordered lah, macam tu lah. But unfortunately, we cannot do that here in Malaysia tau. And okay, this is also relates back to the question yang tadi, ingat tak mula-mula you tanya, macam mana Siri tu faham bahasa Penang? Okay, the issue is that, because, okay, Google Assistant, Siri dengan apa satu lagi, Alexa, we don't have dia punya official, there's no official bahasa Malaysia punya version tau. Kita ada bahasa Indonesia. Okay, the reason being that, okay, that is also one of the reason why kita tak ada official, I mean, stores selling all this. Kalau you pergi dekat Apple punya, let's say Apple punya flagship store ke apa ke, you cannot buy the Apple HomePod dekat sini tau. And then even if you were to buy the Siri punya, I mean the Siri itself, macam yang Siri HomePod tu, there's not really much that you can do. That's the thing. Because we are very limited dekat sini. Now that I see that you open the slide, this is really nice. So I'm hoping one day mana tahu tiba-tiba then all this Alexa will come in, Amazon will come in, Google Assistant will come in, Tesla can come in, and all the Hummer EV baru semua masuk. Still waiting lah. Because we talk about smart city all the time tau.
Yeah, I mean like that's the thing, I was seeing a news lah. Tesla already going into India. They're hiring right now lah. But the best part is office ada kat India tau. Dia nak buat setup kat Singapore. And they're hiring Hindi speaking technicians and Hindi speaking people for Tesla India kat Singapore. Bukan kat India.
You see, that's the thing, Okay, before this, okay, that is Tesla. Before this, I have ByteDance. Dia buka office sebelah my kedai makan tau, dekat KL Central. Now they already moved pergi ke Singapore. It's like, everything is moving to Singapore. Habislah. Tunggulah.
Even the Hyundai punya smart the EV car manufacturing moving to Singapore. Yeah, we're losing a lot to Singapore lah. I mean, kecil-kecil pun
Betul. That's the thing. That's why people have been asking, they kata, why not bring Tesla to Malaysia? But that's the thing, Tesla, okay, let's say we take one of the base models, like say Tesla Model S ke apa ke, $3,000 I mean $30,000 US dollar. If you to calculate our conversion rate, import tax, itu tax, ini tax, macam-macam tax, the car will be like what, 300 to 400k. Who's gonna buy? Betul tak?
Easy.
So that is one of the reasons. Easy. So it's like that's one of the reason why Tesla tak masuk sini. So itulah pasal tau. I bukan nak mengutuk lah, but the thing is that kalau you tengok, ingat dah masa Proton kata you boleh buka tingkap, tutup tingkap, I kata aduh, this one dulu-dulu this one dulu-dulu sudah boleh buat tau. You can actually wire your Alexa to your, I mean whatever car that you want if you're daring enough. Tapi see, that's the thing. We are still at the very infant stage lah.
True.
Macam
But like there was like even like when Bumblebee kan Chevy Camaro dia nak masuk ke Malaysia. Keluar ke Malaysia, and then even Ford Mustang pun. Okay, Mustang US baru 30 yang basic model tu 20,000 23,000 lah. Yang kita ada kat Malaysia ni yang 6 cylinder tu but 33,000 lah. Okay, kalau darab 4 pun baru 120,000 lebih tau. Betul. Okay, you tengok Tesla 3 baru 36,000 US. So betul. Kalau dia murah dari potongan perdana tau.
Bro, they're using Tesla as taxi tau dekat Switzerland. People naik Tesla as a taxi. Oh, this is like a very cool taxi with a very big iPad. Semua orang kata macam tu tau. But over here, if you own a Tesla, even in Taiwan, they're using Tesla as taxi, I mean, Grab. See, tengok lah. That's why I kata, okay, when you have, like, we have something like, we call it, okay, dekat Dubai, they have this, what you call it, the Smart Dubai 2020 and 2025, macam tu lah. So where they actually mandated tau, they kata by 2025 all the cars should be autonomous and EV. So people actually laugh, dia kata, oh boleh kah ini semua kereta, I mean driverless, I mean no driver, no human intervention, bawa sendiri. I kata it is possible, but unfortunately if you have those kind of cars here dekat Malaysia, the car itself will be fine, orang yang pilanggar. That's the thing. Kan? So I say we are not ready. So that's the one of the biggest issue. So that's why I said, kata sebelum ni kita bincang, I mean you pun tahu kita banyak cakap about all this we have all this smart home punya policy. We have been talking about smart cities. I mean, we have smart Selangor, smart Johor, smart every state is considered smart state lah macam tu. And then finally they consolidated everything and it becomes smart nation punya initiative. Tapi I asked one question to them. I kata, you talk about all this smartness sana sini. But can you actually tell me berapa banyak rumah that I can actually go into that house and kata, okay, buka lampu. I mean, automatically. Tak ada. I mean, very few. You can actually kira lah. I mean, I can say less than 10% from the whole of Malaysia kalau yang betul-betul buat. So that's the thing. So one of the reason, okay, kenapa dia tanya, so why is this? Why is the, contributing factor of people not implementing this? Jawapan dia senang saja, bro. Nobody is selling. Nah, tu satu. And then the second thing is that we don't have some sort of like awareness and promotion untuk promote benda-benda ni. We talk about all the big jargons, tapi kita tak tunjuk all the small things. Macam kita talk about smart city, tapi we don't have awareness tentang smart home ataupun smart living room or smart bedroom, tak ada tau. Benda-benda kecil macam tu pun tak ada. Even like the automated features dalam Proton pun kita anggap benda tu macam some sort of magic tau. It's like not common. Macam tu lah, one of the biggest issue. Like, okay, like this slide for example.
I want to bring us back to the topic now. So,
okay.
So I'm having your slide. So you want me to go to the next page or?
Boleh. Yang ni pun boleh. Okay, for example, okay, this one slide. The reason why I put this slide, this buzzword thingy, right? Because everybody has been talking about all this. 5G, big data, pumpang. But in the end of the day, if I were to go to, let's say, Mr. DIY, I cannot purchase a smart switch, a smart wall switch, tak ada tau. Okay, macam ni lah, I bagi you satu contoh. When we are actually, okay, a few years back, kita pakai all those, the filament bulbs, the normal bulbs lah, or the lampu Kalimantan. I mean, let's say 6 or 10 years ago. Okay, so back then, if you were to find an LED bulb, it's considered a luxury tau. Wah, you pakai LED bulb, you memang kaya lah, nak lot lah basically. Memang kaya gila lah. Right, so one bulb will cost you berapa puluh ringgit. Tapi right now, you can just even go to, apa yang ada tepi tu? KK Mart, macam tu kan. You can buy all those LED bulbs for what? RM5, RM6 depending on the voltage and whatnot. So that is what we are trying to achieve. We want these smart devices to be available to everyone tau. So sebab tu I selalu cakap dekat orang, smart home ataupun smart devices or all these connected devices, it should not be a luxury. It is considered a necessity tau. So you tak boleh nak jual benda-benda ni macam, expensive. Okay, if you go to a few slides, can you go forward a bit? Let me show you one thing. Lagi satu lagi. Okay. Okay, depan lagi. This one more, lagi satu. Okay, depan. Okay, can you go forward? Go forward. See, I'm giving you are the smart guy lah. So I'm giving you the instruction. You forwarding the slide for me. Okay, forward a bit. Lagi sikit. Until you see the Philips Hue, you akan nampak ada satu pasal Philips Hue dekat Lazada. Okay, depan sikit. Okay, this is the slide. Alright. So before I knew about all this Sonoff or the China punya brand, so when I search for all this smart lighting lah, they call it smart lighting. So that's the first thing that you boleh implement kat rumah lah, lampu, right? So we have Philips Hue tau. So Philips Hue is a brand, dia pendek kata kayangan punya brand lah, brand mahal. So the thing is that, okay, if you look at this is basically very recent tau. Kemarin saja I print screen benda ni. You have 3 bulbs, Philips Hue. The price of that bulb dengan gateway is RM855 tau. If you look at the normal Philips Hue bulb that you can wah, my anak sudah tekan. It's okay, sorry. Dia tekan itu Alexa. Okay. If you look at Siri punya, Siri pula. Ini Philips Hue punya light bulb yang, the standalone light bulb will cost you like what? 200 to 300 tau. So nobody in their right mind will buy a light bulb that will cost you RM300. Just imagine if you have 10 light bulbs in the house already 3,000. So you might as well hire a maid untuk buka semua lampu, right? Yeah, that's the thing. So that is why I said to them, I've been telling all these ministries and agencies, look, if you want people to implement all this smart home punya thingy, you cannot sell a light bulb at RM600 or RM300 or RM200. It has to be the same price as an LED light bulb. Nah, tu satu. But the thing is that, satu, okay, first we don't manufacture our own. Tu satu lah. And then second thing is, biasalah you pun tahu, kita import everything from China. So that is one of the biggest issue. Nah, itulah. You can try lah if you want to try. But the thing is that, okay, if you look at this Philips Hue punya light bulb that cost you RM855, The difference with a China-made light bulb is that, okay, if you plug in the China-made light bulb, you'll have a lot of hassle of pairing it and trying to control it lah, benda-benda macam tu lah. But if you buy the Philips Hue, the 800 ringgit, you just plug, you turn on, everything will be set up for you for like immediately, macam tu. So you either pay untuk menyenangkan hidup or you pay less untuk susahkan hidup. Macam tu lah.
Okay. So my next question is pretty much this lah. So tengok-tengok smartphone punya device like bulb atau what,
okay.
like smart macam sensor based switch ke atau all this thing automation semua untuk smartphone mahal-mahal sangat. Okay. Malaysia, how's the demand in Malaysia looks like for smart home or smart office? Pasal apa? I'll tell you where this question is going to lead next. Okay.
Okay.
I'm asking you this because some of my students ask me this question lah. Kalau orang sekarang masa PKP business pun like kerja pun tak ada, but they're good in programming, they're good in IT, they want to explore business lah. Dia nak pergi ke promote produk IoT, dia kata okay sebab smart home installation to you.
Okay.
Then nak pitch macam tu, nak bagi package tu macam mana? Kalau nak buat normal house, let's say one floor house, 2 bedroom and a living room and a kitchen, what the cost will be? Kalau dia nak pergi pitch tu, ada demand kat Malaysia tak? Kalau ada demand, what is the costing like? And then what is the business opportunity like? And what are the businesses they have? I know they can sell the devices ke, installation, maintenance. So I want to go, that's where the question is going to lead. So can go into that part.
Okay, going to the first part of the question in terms of demand. Okay, at few years back when I pitch all these smart home punya devices, I mean to the investors saying, okay, look, kita boleh bawa all these smart devices datang jual dekat Malaysia. They actually laugh at me tau. Dia kata, I mean, nobody cares about all this. Dia kata, there's no market for all this. The ayat dia, I still remember lah, itu one of the ayat lah, dia kata, there's no market for this, the revenue is going to come very late, kita tua dulu baru dapat untung, itu pun kalau dapat untung, that's what they said. But the thing is that, from the past 3 years, I can see, even I can tell you lah, this week alone, I mean, because of PKP, okay, people at home don't know what to do, kat rumah pun bosan-bosan tengok shilling, tengok apa, so they try to search for something to do. Alright, so the thing is that, there's a lot of demand for all these smart devices tau. Okay, because unlike like macam Philips Hue or whatnot, and that will cost you around like 600 to 800 ringgit, there are a lot of China-made smart devices, which are, I mean, the quality are almost the same, or either better than whatever that you have from, I mean, US and whatnot. And they are very cheap tau. I can tell you right, the smart devices that I have in my house, their punya price range, I mean, the cheapest is around what, 17 ringgit? And then the most expensive is like around 300 ringgit. Itu pun pintu, door lock, or I mean the tirai curtain thingy. Alright. So like you mentioned just now, is there a demand for it? If you were to pitch to a person with let's say a condo with 3 rooms, you kata okay. The first thing is that you have to tell them okay, apa maksud smart home tu? Kata the first thing why not kita control lampu dengan kipas, the basic things. Kita control lampu, kipas, aircon. In order for you to do that, normally all you need to do is just buy this kind of things. They call it the smart switches lah. So it's like you replace your dumb switch with the smart switch to the first thing that you can do. So all this will only cost you like around what 50 to 60 ringgit depending on how many gangs it has. Macam tu. So it's not really that it's not really that expensive lah. Dia tak sampai beratus-ratus ataupun beribu-ribu. So even if you spend like say the whole house, if you have 10 switches, it will cost you like maximum 600 ringgit macam tu. So you can smartify all your lights with only 600 ringgit. So that is one in terms of demand. So you can sell it, you can resell it, you can jadi online business or online or offline. That's one thing lah. Okay, the second thing is in terms of installation. So we actually spoke to the macam giat mara ke apa yang ajar budak-budak semua tu kan. I mean even diploma, college and whatnot. Okay, the issue that we faced before this, when our customer buys all these kind of smart switches, the first thing is that they'll think this is like an electrical punya product, so they will buy the smart switch from Shopee ke Lazada ke whatever, and then when this thing arrives at their home, they can call satu macam electrician tau. So electrician tu dia assume electrician obviously akan tahu macam mana nak sambung, macam mana nak pasang. So that is one of the biggest issues that we have. So the thing is that the electrician will know live, neutral, they will know all that, but what they don't know is that not all it's not as simple as a direct replacement tau. Okay, that's one thing. First thing is that, it will not fit easily. I can even show you, this is what we have in our, whatever that we have in the wall, like they call it the PVC box lah. So this will not fit. Dia tak akan masuk. So that is one of the issues that electrician don't know. So let's say that's why we have all this, like macam kita ada this certified installer punya program where we actually teach them about all this smart thingy and the electrical punya part. Okay, the electrical punya part kita team up dengan itulah mana-mana macam diploma yang provide electrical punya certification. So we add value add yang part yang the smart part. So those kind of things. And then the other thing is that, okay, once you have it installed, it's already installed, electricians will not know how to configure benda-benda ni. They will not know what application to install on your phone, how to connect to your Wi-Fi, what happens if the device will not, it's not discoverable, discovered through your application. Benda-benda macam tu tak tahu tau. So that is why kita kata, like some sort of skills development, if you have like macam electrical punya skill set, dah ada CJ ke apa ke, then you can add on these smart devices untuk masuk sekali. So you have a bigger customer base. Anybody who wants to deploy smart devices boleh call you. Pasang. So you have the electrical punya knowledge, you have the smart device punya knowledge. Tu satu lah. Oh, I can see my daughter's here. Tak apalah.
Okay, what I see here lah, okay, kena ada dua sektor lah. Okay, satu sektor ni untuk like even saya nak buat smart device installation kat rumah ke office ke. One of Rajesh posted lah, she said industry and livestock sector that she said they already have smart system running in local owned farms. Rajesh, actually true. In industrial side, we have a lot of smart devices, sensor software developers kat Malaysia dah ada dah. Pasal industri tu tinggi sikit dari smart home devices. Most of our homes do not have like a smart switches and all those things because first ada orang, as you said lah, worry about installation ke, nak configure tu kompleks sangat kan, so orang tak nak buat. Kat industri, kalau dia ada ROI, return on investment dia tinggi, kalau dia boleh kurangkan pekerja untuk kerja, cost saving ada, maintenance ada, dan industry level memang banyak implementation ada. Kat smart office tu orang tak banyak buat. Smart office, industrial side I see a lot lah. Wherever I go, like in the government side, especially private sector, dia orang ada. So that's for the comment for one of the audience are watching. But coming back to to earlier what you said, so even orang nak ada dari student dari diploma atau get mara atau all of this thing nak buat smart untuk smart office installation or device installation, they need to have ada dua pengetahuan lah. Satu, dia kena tahu apa itu ROI untuk kalau install tu, apa kan ROI. Nak explain konsep tu kan, dia kena tahu yang tu. Kedua, dia kena tahu apa device dia kena install. Not necessarily one brand or not necessarily A atau brand B or brand C. Apa brand dia kena guna, what is the costing tu dia kena tahu. Nak beli dari siapa, nak beli dari China ke atau nak beli ada local distributor. So I see there's two knowledge here lah. One for business side, explaining the benefit, yang lagi satu project wise implementation, knowledge about installation. Betul. So since you started this in 2014 and sampai 7 tahun kan, how do you see the growth in demand for IoT for homes?
Okay, actually to back that, those findings lah that you asked about the growth, kita boleh tengok dekat Shopee and Lazada tau. Right, before, if you look 3 or 4 years ago, people will not search about all this smart wall switch ke apa, people don't even know about them. Tapi sekarang ni, you can actually search for a smart wall switch and you can see like 10 or 11 pages of products tau dekat Shopee, Lazada, and you can see that people selling those products banyak tau. Even for, like I represent Sonoff, right? Even for Sonoff devices itself, from us, we've sold like banyak berpuluh ribu unit tau everywhere around Malaysia. So meaning that there is demand and people actually knows. There's not been any macam some sort of like large scale punya advertisement dekat TV kata apa ke, tapi you see there's still demand tau. Just imagine kalau memang betul-betul kerajaan kata everyday nampak kat TV3, buatlah smart home, belilah produk ni, produk tu. Just imagine if that were to happen, then the what you call it, the uptake will be larger. Tapi even without all that, orang masih beli tau, and every day we're receiving macam-macam soalan. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to control my auto gate, I want to control my fan, my lights, benda-benda macam tu. So people actually know. And if you look into Facebook pun, dia ada macam-macam group, all these DIY group, all these smart home groups, WhatsApp group, Telegram groups, and there are a lot of people there. Not commonly, I mean, just normal people.
So we got about 10 more minutes left. So
Boleh.
okay, so I just want to I have a few more questions for you. So first question is, so you are actually selling smart home dengan smart office device online lah.
Betul.
Okay, so you sell kat Lazada and Shopee. You have a facility here that do all this, or how does your business operate?
Okay, actually, initially we try to, we ourselves, we don't sell in Shopee or Lazada. We actually, that is our partners selling over there because we are the distributor. So we give it to our partners, so partners will sell it lah. Alright, so we have online partners and offline partners lah. Okay, so the thing is that but now that you ask this question, boleh lah kita sembang sikit lah about the issues and the challenges that we face. Okay, dia macam ni tau. If I were to import this legally into Malaysia, okay, this is a smart switch where you have the Wi-Fi chip and everything dalam tu tau. So you will need to go into SIRIM certification, semua macam-macam. One model will cost you few thousand ringgit per year to certify, dapat all the Suruhanjaya Tenaga, all the MCMC punya Wi-Fi logo kind of thing, right? So, but the thing is that once you do all that, once you do that, then when you want to import, you have all this import permit punya charges, macam-macam lah. So if you were to include all those charges, and then you were to put it, we were to distribute it back to the end users, the cost of these switches will be expensive, macam tu lah. But the thing is that you can actually just simply buy from Shopee or Lazada or Alibaba or AliExpress the same model without any certification, and they will send it to you for like what, RM5, RM10, and then once it arrives to Malaysia, you will have no issues dengan custom and whatnot, and Post Laju will send it back to your house. You see what's happening, right? So this is one of the issues that we have right now. The thing is that I cannot sell all this kind of device on the shelf physically without the certification. Kalau I buat benda tu memang salah lah. Because you are selling uncertified products kan. Memang illegal lah in Malaysia. So I've been telling SIRIM, I've been telling the ministry, I say, look, if you want people to buy all this, contoh lah macam tadi kan, then you need to give some sort of incentive, bagi discount in terms of certification process ke, or give at least the first few years free ke, benda-benda macam tu lah. And then the thing is that, our resellers and our partners are selling in Shopee and Lazada, so they are facing these issues now because the certified products are more expensive. So they say, look, the same model, same brand, same whatever device ke apa ke, if you just search in Shopee, you can actually sort from the price range, from cheapest to the most expensive. People will tend to buy the cheapest. And then they will have to, sometimes they will have this argument dengan their customer, dia kata, I will not pay you additional RM50 for one sticker, I don't care, meletup lah. You see, these are the kind of mentality that we have to face. So, that is one of the issues and challenges lah. So, that is one of the reason why you tak akan nampak orang jual benda ni macam tiba-tiba banyak-banyak atas jalan or in lawyat ke apa ke, because it's illegal. You don't have the certification. Itu satu lah.
I have experience lah. We were doing the smart factory project kat Sabah long time ago lah. So ni factory ni dia kena buat plastic bag. So dia ada plastic bag tu dia ada temperature control. Pasal dia kena melt plastic untuk buat plastic bag lah. So memang dia tu old school punya factory yang mesin tu dah 40 tahun lebih. So yang sensor dia ada tu like thermostat punya, like the old school one lah. So we wanted to buy a digital one, a SIRIM certified thermometer for industrial use. Satu was like about $1,300 something.
Okay.
So then the factory was like, oh, mahal sangat lah, how to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then we decided to buy from China, which cost RM70.
Betul? Unsurprisingly betul lah.
And
betul?
But this quality wise dua-dua pun sama. Okay, it does the
It's
job.
the same thing.
Okay, so
Betul.
coming back to the question, so memang a lot of the smart home devices kat Malaysia yang they sell online is because they don't have the same certification.
Betul.
So that's why you guys selling online. Pasal kalau tak ada SIRIM certificate tak boleh sell on shelf lah atau ke kedai.
True.
So that's one thing. So that actually answers a question from one of the guy who asked the question, VK King.
VK King, betul.
Approval validation certification from MCMC or SIRIM. If it's, let's say, local startup company and made the smart home devices or smart home system, sell them. If yes, means how do they need to get the approval and certification? Please explain this. So I think you pretty much covered that lah. So it takes like thousands of ringgit. How long usually the approval process like, Adil?
It's not that long like, okay, like what we did for our Sonoff punya models. Okay, the thing is that they will certify every model, not the whole brand. So if you have 20 models, so you have to fork out, that amount every year lah. So that's the thing. Okay, so the process is actually quite simple lah sebenarnya. You can go to SIRIM punya website for their punya certification and everything. So let's say we talk about smart switches or smart devices. So they have the electrical part dalam tu, and then they have the connectivity punya part lah, or the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth and whatnot. So the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth ni, you have the MCMC punya certification for communication device. And then for electrical punya device macam ni, normally kita akan perlukan the SIRIM punya device. But Suruhanjaya Tenaga, the ST punya, the logo that you have for electrical plugs. Okay. So all this certification will be done at the SIRIM lah. Alright, so they will have a certain cost to it. So what happened to us was, okay, if you're like a local startup, maybe it's very easy that you can just submit a sample model that will do the testing, you bagi all the test spec and everything, and they will code you. But unfortunately, it's yearly basis lah, they bukan one off. Okay, that's one thing. But if you were to manufacture this somewhere in, let's say in China ke apa kan, there's I don't really remember the process name, but there is a process where you have to bring this SIRIM punya official to China to look at the factory tau. To look at the development process tau. I forgot there's a name for it, and there's a certain cost that you have to bear lah. You have to bawa dia pergi sana and everything. So that is one of the biggest issue that we face lah. That's one. Yeah. I cannot actually put this officially lah, tapi I tak ingat dia ada satu explanation where I have to do that. So that is one of the issues that we face. And then in the end of the day, I spoke back to SIRIM. I kata, look, we went through all the hassle of certifying the products, paying all the import taxes and everything. Last orang beli kat Shopee tak payah bayar apa, the same thing sampai juga dekat rumah. So what's the difference kan? Okay, so they are still working on that lah.
Okay, I have another question. So since it's not certified, it's not MCMC certified, first question is it legal? Second question is it secure? Since it's like connected device and everything, is it secure? Pasal I don't want to have somebody
security. Okay.
Smart home device, unlock my door, come into my bedroom.
Betul.
How the safety wise is this?
Okay. If we want to talk about security and safety, and if you want to go and venture into that topic, I think panjang lah. Okay, but I can tell you, okay, one issue lah, one of the biggest issue that we face right now, yang mana kita tak boleh nak buat apa lah, one of the very general safety issue macam ni. Most of the devices that we buy from Shopee and Lazada they are manufactured in China. Itu memang there's no question lah. And all those companies, in China lah, tak payah kata apa. And basically, when we buy their devices, we have to connect to their punya application, where the application will connect to their server. They will store the server somewhere in Amazon ke apa ke. Okay, basically that doesn't matter. But the thing is that all your data is being stored by all these China punya companies tau. Okay. Although they will have all this, they have all this fine print saying that, okay, they will not snoop into whatever that you're doing, that tak ada record to it, basically, but they are all basically just on paper saja. So, it could happen that, let's say one fine day, tiba-tiba Malaysia nak go to war with China. Just imagine if the whole of Malaysia were to install all these China-made punya smart devices. Okay, what's going to stop them from actually turning off all the lights dekat negara ni? They can do that because they have access to the server, kan? If you want to purchase a secure device yang mana, but unfortunately kita nak sembang security pun, your data is still being stored by all this company punya server. So that is issue. Okay, that is one lah.
I'm not worried about like they're storing the data.
Okay, faham.
Using smartphone kita pun dah data dah merata-rata tempat.
Betul. What happens if people hack this?
okay, what if like somebody has, somebody that standing outside my door tried to hack into my door
Faham.
lock. Somebody outside now
Yes.
to the camera kat smart TV saya. Dia boleh tengok.
Yes. Yes.
See
Yes.
what I'm
Yes.
doing. Like, I'm okay lah. Like, tengok like gadis cantik-cantik ke, like sexy-sexy. Okay?
Oh, kalau cantik means okay lah. Kalau tak cantik means then only it's a security issue lah.
Nanti ada, nanti leak video tu susah weh.
Betul. Okay, the thing is that actually before this, okay, I can give you one. Okay, there are a few studies being made lah. I can give you one example lah. If you remember, there's this smart padlock, the Bluetooth padlock where you can use your thumbprint to unlock the padlock, right? Okay, if you look into YouTube, there's a way that you can actually bypass. I mean, you can do something to the padlock to unlock the padlock, tau. So that is one of the, example of what happens if you have a vulnerable punya smart device. Sama juga, there's this issue with the Samsung punya smart fridge, where people can actually hack Samsung punya Wi-Fi on that smart switch, and then see whatever that you have, whatever that you've configured on the switch lah, tengok you punya calendar ke apa ke that is on display. So they can actually make changes to your calendar. Just imagine lah, tiba-tiba you kata tomorrow is your anniversary, somebody hack into that switch punya Wi-Fi, delete the anniversary and puts your girlfriend's punya anniversary, matilah. So that can happen, that actually happened. So the thing is that all that depends on the developer itself. That's one of the biggest issue lah. It depends on the application or the firmware or the software that's being configured for that device. But the thing is that is the human factor. Tak boleh nak buat apa. Right now mungkin dia kata, okay, based on whatever that we've written right now, whatever that we've done right now, or these codes are all secure. Contoh lah, it's secure from hacking ke, secure from external punya tamper ke, whatever. Tapi there's no, macam mana nak kata, there's no certainty that in the future somebody might find some sort of flaw in those device. Tu macam tu. So that is why constant firmware upgrade tu penting tau. But unfortunately, some of these China-made punya products, their punya lifespan tu very short. After 2 years, you see the company sudah hilang tau. So if the thing is like affected with some sort of like bugs, then habis lah. So that's the thing. If you were to buy reputable company will obviously have expensive new products. But that's the cost that you have to pay lah. You nak benda with support, you nak benda dengan secure, you have to buy the expensive ones. The China ones, okay, it's good for testing. It's even good for commercial use. Tapi you have to keep that in mind lah. Mana tahu suddenly one fine day tiba-tiba the company decides to tutup, habis. Macam tu lah. That's one thing.
Okay. So I want to. So just to wrap up. So we looked at apa tu smart home, apa tu smart office. We talked about some of the samples. We talked about the case that the cases that's happening. The certification and safety wise in city and MCC. Then we talked about the cost of implementation, and then we talked about the business opportunity wise. Ada demand yang growing.
Betul.
So one want to go into the business, they can look into it, or anybody more interested in it. So we already spent 1 hour plus online. So before we wrap up, I just want to say this. I know you have intro kind of program, fundamental program. I actually saw that in your slide. So I'm going to share that. Okay.
Alright.
So please give an idea to kalau siapa-siapa nak minat nak pergi tengok apa tu smart home, apa tu nak buat macam mana. Nak tengok kalau ada business opportunity macam ni ke. And all those things, they can contact them. So
boleh.
So nama ni Adil Hidayat. How
Alright.
they contact you?
They can contact me through email. On the slide itself, or they can even call me through my handphone lah. Memang ada on. You want me to type it in?
Email lah.
Email pun boleh. Adil at sonoff.my.
Okay.
Or if they want my ada kan? On the first slide. Betul. Okay, if they are somewhere around in Cyberjaya, they can just come into my house untuk nak experience.
Okay.
Boleh lah. But unfortunately,
Adil home is smart home lah. He done a lot of work in smart home.
Okay.
So that's that. So I have one question. I have a question, Vel. What is the prevalence of new home buyers looking at setting aside money for smart system?
Okay. Setting aside money for smart system, meaning that, okay, when they want to buy, when they are actually buying a new house, So they have some sort of like a budget for punya smart, I mean,
nak bagi dia smart home
untuk
lah.
nak bagi smart home lah. Okay. Actually, okay, there's a lot of factors to answer the question lah. Sebenarnya macam ni tau. Alright, right now we are actually working, we also did work with several developers lah, where they want to value add. Nah, macam dia kata, okay, we want to sell, I mean, all these units, I mean, this development. Then kita nak bagi macam smart home punya value add-nya to the customers. Okay, so that's one thing. But let's say if you're buying a normal house, yang mana you nak bagi smart okay, the certain factors that you have to look into, right? Like I mentioned earlier, bukan semua rumah tu you can simply plug and play. Itu one of the biggest issue. That's one thing. So maybe one of the cases that we have, right? Okay, this one guy wanted to buy, I mean, he's already in the process of buying his house. So dia pergi dalam rumah tu, dia kira all the current wall switches yang ada. So he calculated everything. So he came to our office, say, okay, look, I want to replace all this with a smart switch. And so he bought the switches around 2,000 plus. But once he got the key, he masuk dalam rumah, he's doing his renovation, and suddenly only then he found out that he cannot actually fit the what you call it, the smart switches dalam itu socket. And then they'll have another cost where you have to hack the wall, do some minor or major modification, tarik cable and those kind of things. Okay, so if you were looking into to smartify your soon to buy home, you have to look into the home punya capability to be macam mana untuk menerima smart device tau.
Okay.
So that's one of the issues lah. Basically, one of the biggest issue that we have right now is we don't have neutral wires in the wall. Macam tu lah. Technically, itu satu.
Okay, just want to show, let the viewers know. Any slide saya share sekarang ni, ini program dari Adil untuk Smart Home and Office Fundamental untuk satu hari. Dia buat...
okay.
Dia charging
Sorry?
Ini ada charging ke?
We did have, we are actually planning to charge, but right now we are giving this for our resellers lah. I mean, our partners and resellers. So basically they want some sort of like training program, so kita bagilah. But still, we haven't opened this to public yet. Tapi boleh lah. We're considering juga doing MCO. We can do it online and offline. Offline belum lagi lah. Online lah. Online.
So yang ni dia buat one day program untuk smart home and office. Kalau untuk nak jadi macam nak buat smart home device reseller ke. So this one actually talks about the understanding of IoT, smart home punya, then technology. Dia talk about the standards. And then objective, assessment, designing and deployment. So yang ni tadi saya cakap tadi lah. You kena buat assessment dulu. Tengok yang ni berbaloi nak buat ke tak. Okay?
Betul.
So yang tu semua you cover lah in one day. And then so the first slide got your name on it, right? Name and your email ID.
Yeah, on the first slide. It's either on the first slide or the last slide. Dua-dua ada. This is like my home lah kalau nak tengok. But they can just simply come to my Facebook and then buka all the videos are there.
Okay. So I will share Adil's okay. Ke bawah ni nama
over here. Betul.
Hidayat bin Rosli, Sonoff Technology Malaysia 019-419-5411 adil@sonoff.my. Okay, yang tu contact dia lah. You interested nak tengok nak jadi macam nak tanya kat dia macam mana nak buat reseller program ke atau apa tu nak more questions about smart home devices, smart office devices, nak look at the costing wise. Pasal dia distributor saja, dia bukan reseller kan. So he is more focused on distribution. So you guys can ask him questions about all those things and see how it is. Nak jadi distributor ke, look at the business opportunity. You guys can do that. So before we wrap, let me see if I have any more questions or not. Okay.
You want to sign out? Sama.
Aku kasi kalau nak sign out nak masuk rumah weh.
But that's the thing tau. Kalau if you're somewhere kita kan tak boleh cross kita tak boleh cross daerah ke apa. I forgot there's a daerah kan. Really? So kalau tak boleh cross if you're somewhere in Cyberjaya I think you can just come by. I even have that's my Sejahtera punya QR code in front of my door. And I have all that what you call it hand sanitizer thingies, but people are coming. Tapi unfortunately if you're staying somewhere in KL ke belum boleh cross lagi lah. Okay. Tunggu nanti dia buka, boleh lah.
They can always contact you and
boleh.
your email ID I just shared earlier and your
True.
phone number that ada.
Mhm.
The website tadi pun Sonoff Malaysia, like SONOFF.my.
Ah,
You guys can go check it out, contact him and see how it is.
boleh.
Explore the opportunities. Like personally, I mean, I don't do smart home or smart office. I focus more on the industry side. Okay, manufacturing ke factory semua kan. So when
Mhm.
the demand and smart automation kat sana kat factory tu tinggi lah, pasal dia nak
Mhm.
kurangkan kos pekerja, dia nak kurangkan electricity, dia nak kurangkan kos untuk
Betul.
a lot of cost lah, cost cutting lah. So automation
Betul?
kat sana tinggi. Kat rumah pun smart office adaptation in terms like electricity saving lah, making employee feel a little bit more comfortable, like control temperature semua
Yes.
ada banyak ada dah. So
Mhm.
moving towards that area. So demand pun sekali is growing in that area. People nak, honestly speaking lah, okay, kita semua dah malas dah tau. Okay,
Betul?
honestly kan, masa kita jadi tak buat apa, kita lapar nak pergi dapur buat Maggi mee boleh. Tapi
Exactly.
pun you order food panda ke atau grab food ke, and then you deliver, you still
Yes,
okay,
yes, yes.
and you order Maggi goreng dari kedai mama. Okay, Maggi goreng tu dah RM7 lebih. You buat sendiri tak sampai RM2.
Betul.
Okay,
Tapi the fact that you can order, you still nak order.
but the thing, what I'm saying is the
Ah,
lifestyle is really changing, and
true.
we want to have control. And as you said, kan, especially like to monitor you punya mother atau parents ke atau
Betul.
elderly people.
Mhm.
You just want to have the peace of mind that you have a little bit of understanding and all those stuff. Lah. So
True.
so I think it's a good discussion. We had quite a lot of questions as well. So I hope we can actually do more lah. Okay.
Boleh, boleh. Anyway,
All right.
thank you for having this. Thank you for, I mean, this is the first session. Thank you. Maybe we have more to come lepas ni. Mana tahu.
For coming. I mean, this was very
Thank you,
spontaneous.
thank you.
I called you last week, and then we decided to put this together. So thank you for
Because
coming.
of you lah, I pergi beli all this light punya, I mean, light screen and everything. Tapi okay lah, it looks good lah, boleh lah. We can have more sessions after this.
Background and everything looks good. Wait, I just saw your daughter just came into the screen for a few bits.
Ni ada. She's sitting somewhere beside my PC. I was like hoping, okay, janganlah tekan the red button. If we tekan the red button, habislah the whole system. Boleh. Thanks a lot, Vel.
Thank you, man. Bye.
Alright.